So, how is it, being the only Goomba around here?
Why, it's kind of lonely. I haven't really been able to do a lot of stuff. But there's a lot of sights to see. I mean, there's a chair. There's a good view of the TV. Um, there's that pile of junk over there.
Wait a second. Pile of junk? Huh. Well, I'll see you later, Mr. E. I'll be back.
Ah, well. Back to being lonely.
Whoa. It's a robot. Huh. I wonder what'll happen if I touch it. Wait a minute. Wally cut... Oh. I think he left something. It's a Sega Genesis game called Vectorman. Well, I know what my next review is gonna be. Mr. E.
Don't come any closer. Remember the death barrier?
So, I guess you can tell by, the game that I picked out that we're gonna be reviewing Vectorman. Actually, before I review this game, I want to talk about the box art a little bit. I mean, seriously. This is some great box art material. Vectorman is shooting a pulsing laser out of his hand, punching the Sega Genesis logo, and the best part is, during the day, it looks like it's daytime, but during the night, it looks like it's nighttime. This cover is amazing. But we're not here to talk about the cover. We're here to talk about the game. So let's put this in the Sega Genesis. And now, it's time to play. Vectorman for the Sega Genesis. This game really showed what the Sega Genesis could do. Now let's see if it's any good. Now before you start Vectorman, I'd just like to tell you that there are 3 different difficulty settings. There's lame, which is pretty difficult, wicked, which is even more difficult, and insane, a difficulty that's so hard I haven't even beaten it. But for the sake of this review, I'm just gonna put it on lame. So, without further ado, let's start with the story. Vectorman's storyline starts in the year 2049, and Earth has been polluted with garbage, and these mechanical Orbots are left to clean it all up. However, disaster strikes whenever the main Orbot, Raster, is attached in the head to a salvaged nuclear bomb. He renames himself Warhead and forges the entire Earth into a death instrument for the humans, brainwashing all the robots, except for one, Vectorman. You see, he was unhindered by the mind control because he was delivering a load of toxic sludge to the sun. And now it's his duty to save the Earth. Now after that storyline, you're thrust in the gameplay, which is a 2D platform. You've obviously got the D-pad, which is for movement, but it's also for aiming Vectorman shots, which can be shot with the B button. The C button allows Vectorman to jump, and pressing it a second time while in midair will allow Vectorman to do a double jump. Now, there are a whole bunch of TVs spread out across the 16 different days that Vectorman goes through. These TVs, after shooting them, will either give Vectorman photons or power-ups. Vectorman, being an Orbot, is able to transform into numerous different things. Some of these things include a dune buggy, a drill, and even a bomb. Graphically, Vectorman looks amazing. Vectorman has some of the, if not the best graphics on Sega Genesis. Not only that, but the music is a nice techno beat. Every single song, except for maybe a few, will be guaranteed to be stuck in your head. Every boss in Vectorman is very varied and very fun. Some notable bosses include an airplane, a pelican that turns into a bear, a robot known as Clockwork, some circus performers, and a notable trifecta of robots consisting of a spider bomber, a piranha, and a monkey. Now here come some spoilers. I don't want to spoil the final boss or some of the final levels. You've been warned. Now there are specific days where you'll fight Warhead in the game. These days include Day 2, where you'll fight him on a bunch of train tracks, Day 7, where you'll fight him on a rolling bunch of platforms that you climb on, and Day 11, where you're trying to stay alive in a disco to the death. I can't believe I just said that. Now on the penultimate level of the game, specifically level 15, you get to the World Link Center, which is Warhead's hideout. This is where he's been brainwashing all the robots. And so you make it through there after seeing a bunch of questionable television images, and you make it to the final boss, which is on top of a tornado. This is Warhead's final stand, and what you gotta do is you gotta blast his head off. Literally, blast his head off. Look at this. His metal is coming off. This is actually kind of creepy, but either way, I beat him. And after beating him, you get a congratulations screen, a character slideshow, and the credits. And that's about it. Short, sweet, and to the point. Overall, Vectorman is my favorite Sega Genesis game of all time. It has amazing graphics, amazing sound, but the difficulty is kind of not good for beginners. So, with that being said, I'd probably give it a 9.5 out of 10. This is King Dedede, and I wonder what did happen to Vectorman after his debut game.
Oh, why Vectorman had a sequel. It's called Vectorman 2.
Right. I said I wonder what happened to Vectorman after his debut appearance.
Vectorman 2 exists.
Though I kinda wish it didn't, because it's nowhere near as great as the first game. Anywho, this is Dedede, and I'll see you next time.